Well, hello, hello, hello. It's another day.
Good morning, Ed. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Can't complain.
Good.
I woke up this morning.
Hey,
That's a good thing.
wake up, sucking air. That's a good day, right?
Yeah. But if I didn't wake up, would I know?
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe.
So how's your week going?
It's going good.
Good.
I'm used to unique markets. I've been in this business for a while. This is normal for me. People always want to know, when's it going to get back to normal? This is the new normal. Normal is whatever we make it, right?
Yeah,
So
that's true.
the only thing I want to bring up, I talked about earlier this week, it's, one more day, is a lot of people are asking, why is everything messed up right now? The stock market, the other stuff going on. And so this thing, what Jerome Powell said last week, words have consequences.
Yeah.
Just like voting. All right. So he's making everybody understand that we're going to have some pain through curbing inflation, which we kind of knew that anyway. But I think it was really put into play when he said it. And that's kind of how what's going forward. And you're going to get more questions about that whenever you're doing anything. So I just want to understand this is why we're here. People are worried, and that's okay.
Yeah. Now, what he should have followed up with was why there is inflation and who's responsible, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. There is no inflation according to the current administration, which let's not get political. I do that enough. We'll try to be conservative today. Non-conservative.
I'm going to say even middle of the road would say, hey, you guys created a problem and now we're going to pay for it, right?
Oh, yeah. Well,
causing us pain.
It's a lot has to do with, you take the energy prices out, the cost of goods, all that kind of stuff. And it's somewhat more stable of inflation, but it's still there. A lot of the stuff that we're feeling pain at the grocery stores is just because of transportation, getting that stuff from one place to the next. And there's just not enough truck drivers. There's just not enough this, enough that. Diesel price is so expensive, costs double what it used to cost to load that vehicle up and take it to one place.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. Like you said, truck drivers are getting out of the business because they're not making any money in it, especially like independent owner operators, right?
Right. Well, not only that, it's been a month or so, but there was one Monday, 70,000 of them couldn't go to work because of that gig economy thing.
Yeah.
In California, it's like, really?
Well, in California has been trying to kill the independent truck driver for a long time because they were requiring like these retrofits for diesels. Like
that was all vehicles, not just independent operators.
Well, I was going to say, but I mean, obviously that's killing the small guy, right? Because who can spend $35,000 to upgrade the one truck they have? Right?
They don't. They just go buy a new one and then sell that one.
Like I said,
to another state. My brother-in-law came here and bought so many diesels for Colorado for his business, which he does porta potties and septic and all the fire stuff. And he came here and bought milk containers, old milk containers for water, all that kind of stuff for taking gray water and bringing other water in.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just California is pushing things just like they push the thing to change where you can't buy a new car that has gas in 2035.
Yeah, I know that. You know what?
That's 13 years away, dude.
I think that's a promise that was never intended to be kept. I think it was something that was good for campaign. Although I just realized, man, we started talking real estate and here we're on politics. But.
Well, no, this is going to affect everything. I'm just talking. You were talking owner operators not being able to afford things, then they can't afford a house. You got gas prices, so what's that going to do to any vehicle that has needs gas or diesel? Are they going to get rid of the gas stations and turn them all into electric stations? Because until they change that electric car to where I could go 600 miles, and when I plug it in, it takes 10 minutes to charge, we have a problem because it takes less than 10 minutes to fill up your tank. Actually, my diesel tank, when I go to those big rigs places, it takes a minute and a half to fill up 31 gallons. Yeah.
Wow. It pumps it, huh?
Yeah. Because they got the big hose. So anyway,
true.
Yeah. So, all right. So with that being said, it's important. Everything that happens in economy, business, whatever, affects real estate, affects interest rates, affects people's feeling that they can go out and own a home. Their stability in their family, stability in this. It's all relative when it comes to real estate, and that's why we talk about on Real Estate Jerky the radio show everywhere, everything, including politics, because it all matters. Unfortunately, voting has consequences. You need to vote the way you feel, whatever that is. But you need to get out there and vote. But also understand that if you vote a certain way that someone doesn't want diesel anymore or gas, it's going to affect you.
Yeah. And honestly, we can look at the energy policies like over in Europe, because they started this, 15 years ago.
That's why they're throwing them away right now.
Yeah. And look where they're at, right? Why would we want to go and make the same mistake?
Well, I had somebody that's posted a thing about how gas prices in France was like, almost, it was $7 a gallon, and they're not complaining about Biden. No, because they did the dumb stuff that they're pushing us to do here, which where they stop producing their own oil. They're relying on Russia and other places for their oil because they don't produce anymore. That's why they're paying $7 a gallon. I mean, a gallon. Where we can produce it and we can get it back down to $3 a gallon all over. But that's not the case. That's not what's going on. That's just an energy thing that they're trying to change. Yeah. But on to real estate now.
Well, so that,
if you're still here listening to us, we want to talk about real estate.
Yeah.
So, did you do open houses last weekend?
Yeah, I had open house on Sunday.
Do you like doing it on Sunday?
No, I normally try not to work on Sundays. But this one, it's right across the street from Big Valley.
Okay.
So I figured it'd be a good chance, for anyone getting out of the late service to.
So you had all these signs over there. Hey, come this way to my.
Yeah, and I had a couple people that came because of the signs, but most everyone had already seen it online.
Right.
Planning on going.
Well, I mean, a lot of people see online, and you have to look at, catfishing and all that stuff. You really need to go there and look at the place, because just because you saw pictures doesn't mean that's how it looks when you actually get there.
No, absolutely. I mean, if
I'm not saying yours isn't, but I'm just saying in general.
Yeah. But I mean, if someone spends, the money to hire a professional photographer and they do ultra high def pictures, you can kind of zoom in and see if there's, paint that needs to be touched up, things like that. Right. But for the most part, I mean, obviously pictures are going to normally represent the house in a totally different light.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a family portrait, right? You're not going to pick the one where the kids are running different directions and one's crying and the other one's, making a face. So.
No, you're not.
No.
Okay. No, you're gonna see all those old pictures where they took pictures and they, anyway, the old pictures when people like, look at this family photo and the kid's looking like this because they don't want to pay extra for it and get more pictures. Where now it's like click, how many pictures you can get on your phone.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what's going on? Open houses, a lot of people, a lot of traffic, a lot of people asking questions. What's going on there?
So I'm still seeing less traffic, but more qualified and more interested traffic. So people are doing their research before they even take the time to go look at these open houses. And I like that, because when buyers especially used to get burnt out, they'd be like, oh, any house that comes on the market, I have to go see, and we got to go see within the first, 24 to 48 hours before it goes pending. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so there'd be buyer burnout. Now buyers can be a little bit more picky, and they can take their time. And the other nice thing is that when you don't have 30 families coming through an open house, they don't feel rushed. They don't feel like they have to get out of someone else's way. They can look around and get a good idea of if they like.
So people can come and take their time, have a picnic.
Yeah. Well, if they want, man, try it out.
All right. Take a swim in the pool while you're there. Make sure it's what you want. I'm just kidding.
But it gives us a chance to kind of talk to them too, because everybody has some kind of question, right?
Yeah. What questions are you getting right now?
Still the biggest one is like, when's the housing market going to collapse?
So, all right. So the big question you get is when is the housing market going to collapse?
Yeah.
And what do you tell them?
And I always tell them, well, we have a lack of inventory and a ton of qualified buyers. So that's not the setup for a collapse,
Right. On Monday, I kind of threw some stuff out there because realtor.com did this thing, and they were talking about how the inventory is up 200% in certain markets. But even with that would still leave us with a massive housing shortage.
Yeah.
No matter what, even if the inventory increases another, double or triple, we still don't have enough homes. Doesn't matter what happens. So that's why I want to throw this in here to your point. It's not going to happen. We don't have enough homes. We're too short homes, and it's going to be this way for a while because builders aren't building right now because they're the cost factor of that and other stuff. And then last week, your governor put out that he has a way to fix all that. And what he's going to allow you to do is on a normal lot, which today that is a 5,500 square foot lot. They're going to put two houses on it. It's like, how do you get two houses on a 5,500 square foot lot and sell it? Because they'll cut the costs in half for the land. Well, in our area, land's not that expensive.
Yeah,
Southern California, land's very expensive. When you do a insurance on a house in Southern California, that's say $1 million, you're insuring the house for $300,000.
Oh yeah,
the land is the rest of it.
Yeah, see, we're here. The improvements are where the money's.
It's the other way here. The land's 100 and some thousand, and the property is triple that.
Yeah,
I mean the house. So that's the difference. So it's a great idea. I understand with ADUs and BDUs, whatever you want to call them, adding those additional dwelling units in your yard is a great idea to have another space for a family member, or, some people written it. And in some places you can split that house into 2 units, and now you have 2 units, or you can add 2 more units on there. There's so much you can do now, but I don't see that fixing the housing crisis.
So you still have to have someone to take the time to invest and build that property, right?
Well, not only that, it's like, the lots aren't that big these days. You've seen the houses. You don't have much land left. I mean, it's making these pool companies really work to figure out a way to get pools in your place. All right. So we're going to have a 1-lane pool, and it's going to go over there. And then we're going to get out and you come back over on this side to get back.
I saw one that was an L shape. There was almost like at the width of a lap pool, but it was an L shape because it went around the side of the house. It was the oddest thing I'd seen.
Well, it's not bad. Hey, if you got a will, you got a way. That's like us. We're putting one in, and come to find out our sewer line's right in the middle of it.
How you guys going to fix that?
You move it.
Okay. Are you able to move it and still have the right grade so it actually drains?
Yeah. Properly? Well, there's a way to fix that too.
Gotcha.
Yeah. We'll find out Wednesday which way they have to do it. But yeah, the guy's like, I don't know if I can do it. If not, I'll put a lift station in. And that's a little thing that pumps it down just in case you don't have enough grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just, the problem is just where it is and everything. And I looked at the map, and other people, the plumbers beforehand, says, it's going to be right here. And I'm like, it's right in the middle of the pool. And unfortunately I'm right and they're wrong. I'd rather them been right, because that means I only had to move it a foot.
Yeah.
Now I got to move it up around it and back down it.
Yeah.
So that's okay. Shit happens. Ooh.
Oh no, the FCC.
No, that's all right. It's not on a radio.
So the other question I get is, the people want to know about depreciation, right? And people are asking like, oh, well, the market, it's going to have to go down. Like I've heard other people tell me it's going to go down 20%. I'm like, no.
Oh, so again, about bubble and the value. So when you said depreciation, I'm thinking about, writing off what you can write off in your taxes on the house and depreciate the house. No, you're talking about
home value.
Is the value of the homes going down once I buy it? And again, it goes back to number one. We have a massive housing shortage, so there is no depreciation. The problem they run into is what they're hearing is the median household prices are down, which the median is there's so many that sold at this price point above that, and there's so many that sold below that in this price point. And the problem is if people are like, I can't really afford that anymore with the interest rate, so I'm gonna go a little bit lower on the price of this home. It doesn't mean the values have gone down. It just meant what houses have sold, the lower price points have sold. Are you following me here?
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people don't get, because I hear that the news reporters, I even read an article a couple weeks ago, and it was like local real estate agent said, because what the Fed did, that caused interest rates to go up. No, that's not the case.
Yeah.
That's not how that works. But anyway,
like you said, they probably misquoted them, right?
Yeah, we hope so. Because if you don't know, the Fed has nothing to do with mortgage rates. They have to deal with short-term interest rates, which has to do with the Fed funds rates, which then is the prime rate, and the overnight rates to banks and credit cards and car loans. Those are what it gets affected by what the Fed does, not mortgage rates. Mortgagers rates are based off of the mortgage-backed securities and the bonds and what are they doing and how are they being sold and that kind of stuff. It's a totally different market. So when the Fed didn't do anything, those two things were smart and said, we're going home. Going back up, because we need to slow this down somehow.
Well, I mean, it's been effective, but it's also been a good opportunity for these buyers. And
it's still a great opportunity because now you don't have the competition. And that was one of the things it was like great news for frazzled buyers who've been struggling over the past few years to find anything to buy. I think the housing supply is going to be much more, however, not more than we're still in a massive house shortage.
Yeah.
So it's going to, until rates start going down, you have an opportunity here, because once rates start going down, that means more people can afford and more people will be back out shopping. And so you might want to get in before that.
Yeah. With any market, right? You always do the opposite of what everyone else is doing.
Well, that's technically, but that's not what happens.
I'm going to say if people are taking a break, then you should probably be looking, right?
Yeah. Well, that's normally what people don't do. People jump in when other people are doing it.
Yeah.
Like a crypto. Anyway. All right. I think that's enough of this one today.
Okay.
All right. You got anything else you want to add to before we go, Bobby?
No.
All right. Well, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate everybody. And if you like what we do here, like I always say, follow and subscribe. We need some more subscribers on our YouTube channel that's Real Estate Jerky, so we can get that number up. I appreciate it if you guys go there and subscribe.
Well, thank you so much, Ed.